Epilogue, One Girl Among Many. On my 16th birthday, I was given the most extraordinary gift. I was invited to speak to the United Nations. It was the first of 2 trips I would make to New York that year. 400 people would be in attendance, high-ranking officers from all around the world, such as Ban Ki-moon, the Secretary General of the United Nations, and Gordon Brown, the former UK Prime Minister, as well as ordinary children like me. It would be a far cry from the solemn and fearful birthdays I had spent in Pakistan not long ago. My whole family traveled to New York. We saw Annie on Broadway, and we stayed in a hotel where they bring pizza to your room on a silver tray. I liked the hustle and bustle of New York, compared with sleepy Birmingham, and I felt if the city were my old friend after seeing it on Ugly Betty. Many people in Pakistan have been told that the United States is a dark, godless place. But everyone I met there was quite nice. I couldn't wait to tell Muniba. America is a very nice place, but it was just as loud and crowded as the other cities I've seen, with its honking horns and people rushing here and there. It's like a developed Karachi. During my second trip, I made one of my favorite people in the United States, a man named Jon Stewart, who invited me on his TV show to talk about my first book and the Malala Fund. He took my campaign very seriously, but he also made funny faces, and I asked him if he could adopt me. I also met a real ugly Betty, America Ferrara, who is very pretty, and even President Barack Obama and his family. I was respectful, I believe, but I told him I did not like his drone strikes on Pakistan. That when they kill one bad person, innocent people are killed too, and terrorism spreads more. I also told him that if America spent less money on weapons and war and more on education, the world would be a better place. If God had given you a voice, I decided you must use it, even if it's to disagree with the President of the United States. The day of the UN speech, I was excited. I had amazing experiences and met amazing people. I'd even met the Queen of England and Prince Harry and David Beckham one day, but I was still me, a girl who likes to crack her knuckles as loud as she can and draws pictures to explain things. A girl who hates pasta and likes cupcakes and will always like her mother's rice. And no loaves of cheesy Watsons and fish fingers. A girl who has to stay up late studying for her physics test. A girl who worries if her best friend is mad at her. A girl like any other. Was it really possible that I was going to address the United Nations? How my world has changed. I dressed slowly that morning, putting on my favorite pink shawl war kameez and one of Benazir Bhutto's scarves. I had not written my speech with only the delegates in mind. I wrote it for every person around the world who could take courage from my words and stand up for his or her rights. I don't want to be thought of as the girl who was shot by the Taliban, but as the girl who fought for education, the girl who stands up for peace, with knowledge as her weapon. I said in my speech, "Dear brothers and sisters, do remember one thing. Malala Day is not my day. Today is the day of every woman, every boy, and every girl who has raised their voice for their rights. Thousands of people have been killed by the terrorists, and millions have been injured, and I am just one of them. So here I stand, one girl among many. I speak for not myself, but for all girls and boys. I raise up my voice, not so that I can shout, but so that those without a voice can be heard. Those who have fought for their rights, their right to live in peace, the right to be treated with dignity, the right to equality of opportunity, the right to be educated. On the 9th of October 2012, the Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They shot my friends, too. They thought that the bullets would silence us, but they failed. And then, out of that silence came thousands of voices, and terrorists thought that they would change our aims and stop our ambitions, but nothing changed in my life except this. Weakness, fear, and hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage was born. I am the same Malala. My ambitions are the same. My hopes are the same. My dreams are the same. One child, one teacher, one pen, and one book can change the world. As I heard the applause and took my seat, all I could think of was that I had come a long way from Malala the toddler giving lessons to an empty chairs at the Kushal school, and a long way from the girl who gave speeches to the bathroom mirror. Somehow, by the grace of God, I really was speaking to millions of people. I had once asked God to make me taller. I have realized that God has answered my prayer. God has made me as tall as the sky. So tall I could not measure myself, but my voice could reach the people everywhere. I had promised 100 Rakit Nafal when I first asked God to give me height. So I had given him those prayers, but I know that with the immeasurable height, God has also given me a responsibility and a gift, the responsibility to make the world a more peaceful place, which I carry with me every moment of every day, and the gift to be able to do so. Peace in every home, every street, every village, every country, this is my dream. Education for every boy and every girl in the world. To sit down in a chair and read my books with all my friends at school is my right. To see each and every human being with a smile of true happiness is my wish. I am Malala, my world has changed, but I have not. And that is the end of our story.